Hello and welcome to the Bad Movie Reviews channel, hosted by Daniel and myself. We'll be reviewing, a highly anticipated film this week by Martin McDonagh called BANSHEES of INISHERIN, which I'm sure if anyone's watching this review, you've obviously heard of, but it's the latest from the director who's done 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, In Bruges, 7 Psychopaths, but it stars Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, Barry Keoghan, set in an island off Ireland, basically in the 1920s, and pretty much 2 friends who've been friends their whole life wake up one morning and one Brendan Gleeson character basically just goes, "No, I don't want to be friends with you anymore." That's pretty much as bare bones as I'll get because I don't want to tell you too much more because I highly recommend watching this, not knowing as much as it possible or not knowing anything really.
It's definitely better to know nothing for this kind of film.
But what were your thoughts? I obviously know you enjoyed it, but overall, what did you think of the movie?
Phenomenal. In every single aspect, from its audio design to the story it's told. I thought the acting was phenomenal from all cast members all together. It was the kind of story where you could really put yourself in the character's shoes and see where they're coming from, and that's the part that's kind of, it actually delivers the really like internal pain, but it gives you that ability to be able to relate, to empathize, to really put yourself in their shoes, and really portrays the story between kind of 2 friends on 2 different life paths, I guess, going in 2 different directions. And look, it was good. And I know I always touch on this, but I always do go into movies very ill-prepared, generally having no idea. And this was one of them. And it delivered on every aspect. For such a simple setting, set during the Civil War, it really created this, I don't know, like true to life reality of a situation that, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It was great. It definitely touched me personally. Had a deep effect on me, and I felt a very emotional connection because I felt like it was very real and it felt real to me. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I think that's what kind of the beauty of the film. I guess I'll go from here. In terms of obviously the plot as we described it to, as I described it, it's a very bare bones, simplistic plot about 2 friends that obviously, no longer want to be friends. But it really comes down to the performances this film, and I think that it's career best performance from Colin Farrell, who I hope wins the Oscar for it, to be honest. I haven't seen some other films that are vying for that, but he was brilliant. Barry Keoghan as, I guess, the island, the fool, basically, was fantastic. And Kerry Condon as Colin Farrell's sister was also beautiful, and she kind of was the one character, I guess, who showed a lot of hope and care for everyone, and she was just lovable in the film. And Brendan Gleeson was also fantastic, who obviously as Mad Eye Moody's probably his biggest role, but he was fantastic as the friend who obviously no longer wanted to be friends. And a special shout out to the donkey Jenny. She was also fantastic. But no, I think this film actually really affected me emotionally, and it's something that you can relate to. Really, it's what it does so perfectly is it's so emotional and so personal in a way, as well as being breathtakingly funny. Like, there was not a moment in this film where I did not laugh in terms of visual comedy, but also the script writing is brilliant. But no, I genuinely did get emotional, and you can kind of feel the shoes of each character. Not so much, I guess, the lengths they go to. I like very full on, but respect. But sitting here in our mid-20s, there's people in my life where I've gone, you know what? I don't want to be friends with them no longer. And that's the reality of life. You wake up and you kind of feel that, and you're also in life, in my mid-20s, have been on the other stage of my life where someone wakes up, they don't want to be friends with you, and you're kind of sitting there like, oh, okay, why? And you can really put yourself in everyone's shoes, and I think that's the beautiful thing about this film is it's very relatable on every level. But I also think it's just like it matches that up with brilliant comedy, one of the funniest films I've seen in a while, probably my funniest film of the year, and it'll definitely be in my top 10 probably of the year when we do that video at some point. But no, this film really affected me emotionally. I really don't know sort of what words to put it in. I did get emotional watching it too, because you kind of, on Colin Farrell's face, the innocence you see and the the love he has for kind of everyone, and it's just it's not hard to watch, but you just kind of feel real pain.
Yeah,
Watching all these characters and you feel for Brendan Gleeson's character as well, because obviously he's sitting there in his elderly age, and it's like, one of the things in life that's permanent is death, and that's the reality of it. And he sits there, he goes, I obviously want to have
something to be remembered.
Something to be remembered by, which I think everyone realistically can also relate to. You want to be remembered by something, whether it's family, something you do of work, something you do in your line of career, anything really. I think it's just a genuinely beautiful film, and I think everyone should go see it. Other than that, I really don't want to say too much because go in blind, but definitely wholeheartedly recommend.
Yeah,
I'm in
pain from just talking about it. It's just it was so good. I was not expecting it. I'm one of those people that definitely doesn't get emotional in movies, or at least I hold it to myself until I'm watching Disney movies by myself. But it brought it out. Like, I really had to choke it up. It didn't try to drag you into that and make you empathize. You just empathize. You were that person in that situation.
Yeah, it's not hard. It's really something everyone can relate to at some point. And I think that's what's really beautiful about it. And I'm the complete opposite. I'm happy to cry in a movie, and that doesn't bother me, and happy to get emotional. But I think what this film does, it's like, you're nearly on the verge of tears at one scene, and then the next you're nearly crying yourself with laughter. So I think it's just a brilliant film, and one everyone should go watch. I think in Australia, we were lucky to see an early screening, but I think it comes out Boxing Day. But I highly recommend you go see it in a cinema with a packed theatre. We saw it was sold out, and I think it adds to it. Everyone's laughing, apart from some donuts who keep talking. But
as always,
that's a reality, unfortunately. But even then, it's still better than watching it at home. The reality, when you watch a film like this, I think in a packed theatre, it elevates it a bit. When you have everyone laughing, you laugh too. You hear the silent shock, and so you hear the shocks and oohs and ahs, and I think it just adds to the theatre experience. But can't say much more about it. Definitely go see. It's on both of our recommended lists, obviously. So other than that, we'll leave you there, and we'll catch you next review.
Thanks, guys.